House Minority Whip Steve Scalise joins me now with more. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Carly. Good to be with you.
Good to see you. So you are calling for a congressional investigation into the origins of COVID-19. So how sure are you that this congressional investigation will take place, and what sort of information can Congress garner through an investigation?
All right, Carly, for over a year now, you've had many members of Congress and medical experts speculating that this virus may have actually started in a lab in Wuhan. Not what we were told in the beginning, that it was only bat to human, that it couldn't have been started in a lab. Now there's even more science and scientists coming forward saying that it might have started in a lab, and yet Speaker Pelosi won't let any of the standing committees investigate this. We've been calling for it. I'm the lead Republican on this special select subcommittee on the coronavirus. Even that committee on the coronavirus will not have a hearing on the origins of the virus. Hundreds of thousands of Americans dead, millions worldwide. China and the WHO covered so much up at the very beginning, and yet they still won't investigate where this started, even as more scientists are saying it very well could have started in a lab, as many of us said a year ago, to a lot of criticism from the left.
So why is Speaker Pelosi not moving on this, and do you think she eventually will?
Well, it's a good question why she's not. There's so many questions about why they've been covering up for China in the Democrat-led House right now. You know, why they won't aggressively hold China accountable, why they won't investigate the origins. But look, pressure's mounting from all angles now. You even have some Democrats finally starting to say we need to have this investigation, and yet Speaker Pelosi won't allow any of the standing committees to have those very investigations. Not one of them has done it. The China Commission that we had started up, Mike McCall chaired that. She walked away from that committee. Even then, they started laying that out a year ago. We've known for a long time this may have started in a lab in Wuhan. We were getting reports of that. And yeah, I mean, look at some of the scientists in China who were getting ill early off from that Wuhan lab, and yet they won't have an investigation on it. I don't know what it's going to take, but I think a lot of this noise is starting to break through where Speaker Pelosi's feeling the heat.
Oh, it certainly is. You know, speaking of investigations, President Biden just called for a 90-day investigation into this very topic. And the New York Times says that he called for that after the intelligence agents said that there's this trove of evidence that has yet to be looked into. Do you know anything about what that evidence might be and why it hasn't been looked into yet?
Well, I can't go into classified information, but just from what you've seen in published reports by scientists, respected scientists that are now starting to openly speculate that it may have started in that lab. A lot of strange questions about what was going on in that lab in Wuhan. Very coincidental that you had scientists in the lab getting sick. You had the origin of the virus started in that city, and yet they act as if the lab wasn't even there. We all know the lab was there. And there's very serious questions about the Chinese Communist Party's involvement in that lab. We ought to know about it. The world ought to know about it. Why Speaker Pelosi doesn't want to have investigations is a very curious question.
Yeah, it's an important topic. Congressman, thank you for taking action on it. We appreciate it.
Always great being with you, Carly. Thanks.